Okay, story time again. So I'm gonna share a little bit about my gig in this establishment newspaper. I joined this prestigious setup back in the mid 90s. So I took a certificate in journalism program, and the training gig requires me to be bonded for 3 years after getting hired. So I started my job as a junior reporter in this newspaper, but that gig didn't really last long because first month on the job I got put in cold storage. So being a prestigious newspaper and all that, it's a broadsheet paper. Broadsheet meaning it's a really big newspaper. You can wrap dead bodies with it. Enough volume to wrap your chicken and fish. But that's beside the point. So I'm just getting to being prestigious and all the elitists. So up the chain of command, there's the group editor, assistant group editor, executive editor, managing editor, and blah 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 so on. So I'm down the food chain, just a reporter. So there was this very interesting gentleman, Zainon Ahmad. He has no datukship title, what, and out of respect, I call him Pak Non. So if he walks down the corridor, I say, "Hey, morning, Pak Non." He will respond back, "Hey, yeah. Very nice guy. Also a very eloquent gentleman. He used to cover foreign affairs. He traveled, a very worldly person, well-traveled and all that. Very nice guy. Great personality, but I think because of the he doesn't align himself with politicians and the powers that be, so he went as far as assistant group editor. I think that was the pinnacle of his achievement. So of all these things, I think respect is due. You give respect, you greet people and all that. So he walks past, morning Pak Non, he will acknowledge. So there was this alpha male reporter from the crime desk. This big and burly guy walks up to me and said, you know what, you don't deserve the privilege to call this guy Pak Non. This is something that is accorded to all the senior people. So I say, what the fuck is wrong with that? Calling a person, an elderly person with respect, Pak Non. How the fuck should I call him? Encik Zainon and all that. So he just gave me this, alpha male stare, just fucking walked away. And then I said, yeah, this crime desk people, because the crime desk back in the newspaper, they have this like alpha male structure. The boss is this pretty boy who is very conflicted. Some of the reporters are like, super pretty boy, borderline faggot. But I don't give a shit because, you work in a big organization. So this guy is just like, they just come and go. And then this guy, the way he talk, he put it in a way as if I get I get my paycheck from him. So I say, fuck you, you don't waste my time. I still call the guy, the editor, at the time I think he was an executive editor. I still call him Pak Non, out of respect. I think that guy has no issue about being addressed as Pak Non. But this ball carrying alpha male guy has an issue because he thinks he's the best in the business and all that, and being one of those elite guys. And it is a norm, if any organization, like a news organization, they have a mole in the business, some a snitch that the government put there, he could very well be a cop, linked to the special branch, snitching out everybody. But that's just a speculation. But anyway, this alpha male guy, he just carry on with his charade and all that. And I was put on a team to cover the Langkawi International Maritime Show. So I was the lone wolf guy on the maritime side. Nobody wants to do maritime because they think that aspect of the Lima show was full of shit. So I was there on my own. I have to cover everything, and all the fly boys, you know, all the glamour job is at the air show. So you know, I just do my job, and then I was based at Porto Malai, which is quite far from Kuala, the airstrip. So one night, you know, I have to report to the people in the maritime, I mean at the air show part. So there was this guy who's like, hey, you know what, what is this vessel? So I look at the number on the hull, I say, yeah, it's a Pakistani vessel. So the alpha male guy was like, oh, shocked, you know. Wow, you know a lot of things. I said, no, this common sense, you know, you look at the vessel number, you double check with the list of visiting vessel, there you get it. So the guys are very happy. And at the end of the show, the big boss flew in and you know, he congratulated everybody. So the alpha male guy, who was the team leader, took credit for the air show thing. But the air show report was not the main highlight. Say, oh, the maritime part did a good job because I get stories every day. I fill up my big pages for the show. So there was this like stunned look from the team leader, and but I say, well, it is what it is, you know. I'm paid to do a job. I'm not from your broadsheet part. At that time I was with the Malay Mail, but I was seconded to do Lima show for the maritime part. And it was fun because at the maritime show, I boarded a missile cruiser from the US, the USS Vincennes, which was quite a controversial ship because they shot down an airliner, Iranian airliner. So the vessel was you know, anchored very far from shore, and you know, you have to go through a lot of red tape just to get aboard. So I liaised with the Royal Malaysian Navy Public Affairs Officer, Lieutenant Commander Carmen. So I told her, you know, Puan, you know, is it possible to board the vessel and visit the warship and, you know, speak to the commander of the vessel? She did her work, and on the third day of the exhibition, I boarded the vessel. So this wraps up everything, going back to the stealth vessel and all that. I spoke with experience, you know. I try to shape things up, and then with all this so-called alpha male in the business, you know, they try to wing it, they try to bullshit their way through. So like if you're dedicated to the job, you do what you need to do. So there's no question if somebody, you know, walks past you, he's an elder person, you address the person, you know, as such. You know, it's not to carry his balls, purely out of respect. But sadly, Pak Non is no longer with us. He passed away due to some critical illness many years ago. But if I want to recall my gig at the establishment newspaper, that's one of the nicest guy I have ever worked with. He was also the person responsible for sending me to the Falkland Islands. So I will tell you that story in another video. Right, thanks for watching.